Welcome to Talkin' Tale, the cozy place to enjoy English stories, learn simple words, and relax while getting better at listening. Let's begin today's tale.
Freud, the boy who dreamed minds. The untold story of how a curious child became the father of psychoanalysis. The Curious Boy. Born in 1856 in a Moravian town, he was a bright-eyed boy with many questions. Books were his playground, ideas his toys. While kids chased games, he chased meaning. His name? The unforgettable Sigmund Freud. In the shadow of expectations. Freud's father was strict, his mother proud. Being the golden child wasn't always a gift. He felt he had to prove something great. Every success was survival, not joy. That pressure shaped his deep ambition. A mind made for mystery. He read Shakespeare, Goethe, and Darwin. He didn't just read minds, he decoded them. Freud studied medicine not to heal, but to understand the brain and soul. He aimed to map the mind's secrets. The Dream Maker. Dreams, he said, were never random noise. They hid secrets, symbols, deep desires. In 1900, he published Interpretation of Dreams. Few believed until many changed their minds. He cracked the door between night and day. Breaking the taboo. Freud claimed sex was central to the mind. In Victorian times, that was near criminal. He faced mockery, outrage, even isolation. But he held firm and never flinched. Truth is uncomfortable, he always said. The first patients. His early patients didn't need surgery. They needed someone to simply listen. Women labeled with hysteria found relief. He let them talk, and they began healing. He called his method the talking cure. Friends and foes. He built a circle, young, antler, rank. But genius comes with ego and division. Disagreements turned allies into rivals. Freud stayed central, but increasingly alone. Ideas split faster than they formed. The talking cure. Freud didn't invent psychology, but shaped it. He let patients speak while he listened. They uncovered trauma, fears, childhood pain. He guided them inward without judgment. This wasn't science, it was a revolution.
war in the mind. World War I left soldiers mentally broken. Not wounds, but nightmares haunted them. Freud saw trauma buried deep inside. The human mind was its own battlefield, and no one escaped the violence within. Ego, id, and superego. He mapped the mind into 3 parts. The id, wild, the superego, strict. The ego mediated between the two. We all fight ourselves, he explained. That fight defines how we live. Vienna's rebel. Vienna loved music, not mental rebels. Freud lived there, but felt outcast. His work questioned religion, pride, tradition. He paid the price for speaking truth, but he never once backed down. Critics and firestorms. They called him mad, vulgar, obscene. Penis envy and Oedipus drew fire. But Freud said psychology isn't polite. He looked where others dared not, and he never looked away first. A father and a fighter. Freud was strict, even with his kids. He feared emotion might cloud logic, but deep down he cared intensely. He loved in silence, through thought. His mind often wore a mask. Mind versus society. Civilization requires we repress ourselves, but too much repression causes neurosis. We trade instincts for rules and order. That trade, Freud warned, makes us sick. Modern life, he said, is illness. Fame and smoke. He smoked cigars endlessly, always thinking. Fame came late, in his 60s. Artists, scholars, and critics sought him. But Freud stayed distant, always analyzing. Even fame was just a symptom. The Nazi threat. Nazis burned his books across Europe. He fled Austria in 1938, aged 82. With help, he reached safety in London, but war left scars deep within. He had seen this hate before.
The final hours. In London, cancer consumed his body. Cigars took his speech, then his life. But he faced death like a scientist. Calm, curious, he watched his own end. He died observing the ultimate unknown. More than theory. Freud left more than terms and texts. He gave us tools to ask why. Therapy, trauma, introspection became normal. He made the unconscious visible and known. Millions now search inward because of him. Love, loss, and letters. He wrote letters full of fire and fear. To friends, students, and his daughter, Anna. Sharp, poetic, brutal, his truest voice. His silence said as much as words. The letters reveal the man beneath. Legacy in the shadows. Freud didn't fix minds, he opened them. He didn't finish the map, just started it. He showed our real war is internal. Understanding is the first true weapon. His legacy lives in every therapist's room.